Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to Coffee Chats.
Coffee Chats. Third episode. Thanks so much for joining us. On these episodes, obviously, we talk about tips and tricks and things to help you grow your business and double your bottom line quicker.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, guys. We are now in the day and age and time of video. You see it everywhere. You see it on Facebook. You see it on Instagram. Everybody knows they should be doing it. The problem is a lot of people are not doing it, number one, and not doing it right, number two. I feel like everybody knows they want to tap into this technology. Maybe they're just a little apprehensive. Maybe they're a little bit fearful. What's your take?
Well, let's talk about trust for a moment. So, I love 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. He really talks about the fact that slow is fast when it comes to trust. And he really believes that what really makes the world go around is trust. Yeah. If you have trust, things happen quickly. But to build trust typically takes time. So for instance, when you've got a good relationship with somebody, they just have to ask you something really quick, like, can you loan me, $500? I just need it quick. And because you trust them, you would do it. Where if a complete stranger asked you for that same thing, you would say, it just wouldn't happen, right? So, but if you think about it, to build that relationship to a place where you can just quickly ask for $500 and you'll give it to me took time, right? Yeah. So slow was fast. And we live in an interesting world today where I think there's some actual ways where we can consider, especially in the digital world, where you can actually accelerate that trust. And the fastest way to build relationship with someone is face-to-face. It's an actual community. It's a relationship. Right. And I think in a digital world, everything is kind of like, there's me, and then I'm typing through a computer, and there's you over there. And unless we have a pre-existing relationship, it's pretty hard to build trust, right?
Well, I mean, I almost feel like we are connected more than ever today, but we're almost disconnected more than ever, right? So we're all craving human interaction. We're all craving relationship. And like, we can be on our phones and be on Facebook all day, on Instagram, and we're reading all these posts and seeing all these videos, yet we're not connected with anybody. Mm-hmm. Our industry with real estate is relationship focused, number one. So it's really going to come down to repeat and referral business. And if you're generating new relationships, new opportunities, and you're doing that through Google or SEO, Facebook, social media, Instagram, that's lead generation, right? Mm-hmm. And so these people have never met you before. They maybe seen your brand, but subconsciously for the most part. So when you initially go out there and try to build like and trust, try to engage them and get a relationship, if you're trying to do that with text, it's going to be pretty hard. I mean, we hear all these numbers around, it takes sometimes 12 times before someone replies. There's like a study on Harvard that talks about that. But that's because everything has been studied around text. Mm-hmm. And from what I've learned, and I utilize BombBomb as a software for video email, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but I've learned that 93% of communication comes down to body language and tonality. Basically, your guys are seeing that right now. You're seeing us interact. You're seeing our mannerisms, right? Our tonality in our voice, right? You can sense if we're comfortable with what we're talking about, if you could trust us. You're probably like initially, right, when you tune in or if you see us for the first time, you're going to automatically decide if you like or dislike us. And you know what? Some of you might see like, these guys are ridiculous. Bye-bye.
I want to, in my example earlier, where I talked about the $500 with trust. Yeah. I think for a lot of real estate agents that we've seen is that we'll be running campaigns for them on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll bring in leads. And now this lead doesn't know you. Mm-hmm. Right? They've literally come through a campaign in a funnel, and now you have an opportunity. They've raised their hand and they've asked for some information on their home. Right. And you're not asking for $500. No. You're asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars because you want to list their home and have that responsibility. Well, and yet people seem to think that you can just do that quickly without building any trust. Yeah,
it's hilarious to me, actually.
So unless somebody's desperate and they just trust the concept of a real estate agent and you just happen to be there, and that can happen.
I think it's really funny, actually. When I'm having conversations with realtors, like they automatically go to, what's your conversion rate? Or I'm like, well, shouldn't that be on you? Because ultimately it comes down to because I can give people leads all day, but how do you start that relationship? How do you initiate that trust? Like, how do you build it? And if you think you're going to do it through some sort of generic drip campaign, good luck. Like that's like playing roulette. I always tell people that's like pulling the slots in Vegas and just hoping for those sevens to land.
Yeah,
like,
and it does
sometimes it
happen.
does. Yeah, like,
and if you've got enough volume, it will
happen, and some you'll get lucky. But why not look at it as an opportunity to get face to face with every single person? And you got to remember, it's on their timeline, not yours. Okay, so part of what I like to tell people is you are looking to cultivate that relationship and come forth as someone who's authentic, who's real, who's genuine, you know, who's there to serve. And if you're one of those guys that are just all about the transaction and you're just a complete, like, you know, aggressive idiot, like, you're not going to want to do video.
I think even for that person, though, I think there's an opportunity to introduce video. And I think, you know, so one of the
people are going to see right through that eventually.
Yeah.
So just to say, your intention's got to be clear. Your intention and your intent, I think, has got to be clear. And I think if you come from the very beginning and just look to serve, and you know what, I always say, leave with, like, ask a question, like really find out why they're there. I mean, of course, in this case, they may have looking to see what their kids sell their home for, what their home is worth, or they may be looking to see a list of homes for sale in Kelowna under $499. But dig deeper, because, like, if you've met somebody for the first time, you want to know about why they're looking for it, what specifically they're looking for. I mean, you know, if you start asking questions and peeling back the layers, that's where trust is built. It's not just on, you know, and I say just be you. Like, people like raw video more than they do some sort of script. It's not about, I heard it on this Bombcast feature. It's not about being Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean and being, like, scripted, right? You don't have to worry. You just have to go out there and be you, generally have an intention to serve. And, you know, it's one of those things that you do it enough time, you want to, it's second nature, just like we're here.
So I was just, you know, coming back to, like, how I started on that Stephen Covey. I mean, I think if he was around today, he would really leverage. I think he would talk about video as well, because in large part, if you think about it, it's just it you know, all those relationships, like, you know, how to win friends and influence people, all of that was relationship based and how to build relationships. But they didn't have video the way we have today, and I just think that it's just an incredible opportunity to build trust.
It's huge.
You know, there's, you know, if people listen to your voice, like, through a podcast, that's super powerful, because, like we talked about in communication, there's tonality. Yeah. Right? Tonality matters. So at least if they can hear you, like, you get on the phone with somebody and you can chat with them.
You and I love podcasts, so we're listening all the time.
That's right. Yeah. So you can talk to somebody, and I think that voice in itself is something powerful. And that's probably why the phone overall is still much more powerful than email. Right?
But now think of it as a visual voice.
That's right. And then, but with video now, video just allows you to have the body language and the tonality, and you can build that. What we really always refer to as the know, like, and trust, which is, like, people need to know who you are, because if they don't know who you are, your brand, and they can't see you, you know, it's hard for people to even listen to your message if they can't find you. Then you need to be likable, and likability can come in many different forms. Yeah, it can come by, you know, just sharing some different stories about who you are. It can come by, you know, pulling people into your social world.
It can be an instant connection. They can click on the video, right? I mean, and
they just like you, right?
I don't think people realize how powerful video email can be. I mean, I show people, and I don't have it right now, but I have a whiteboard, right, that I write their name on, so I could be like, hey, Steve, quick question. And the first thing they see is me mouthing, hey, Steve, quick question, right? Yeah. So it's animated for the first 3 seconds. They've never seen something like that before. It's to them, and they're going to open it, and they're like, wow, this person really took the time out of their day to communicate a message to me. Like, that's going to be powerful in itself. And you know what the else that doesn't get recognized is nowadays technology has the ability to track the open. We know that because we have that software built into even to our own dashboard, but then also to track if they've watched the video and if they've clicked on any links that you associated. So you have this amazing, like, I mean, we're in this day and age where we can utilize technology to be face-to-face where you otherwise can't be, to meet somebody on their terms. And it's like, almost like you are now getting the opportunity to go to their house, open their door, and say what you
have a face-to-face conversation.
Right. And do that over and over again. And, you know, there's the personal one-offs, but there's also the canned responses, which can seem just as natural, and you can make it just as authentic, and you can identify. I mean, so I think it's just, I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about it today on a Bombcast episode. So I would recommend, and we'll post it. Tune in today at 11 o'clock. I believe it's 2 p.m.
I'll include that link.
11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
And Marcus, you were early. I mean, obviously, there's lots of ways of doing video. I think BombBomb has done have a fantastic platform for being able to deliver and distribute video and just have a real face-to-face communication through email.
Yeah.
And you were early on it. You were a big proponent of it. I know in our office with our clients, you're probably one of their top users in terms of how many videos you send on a monthly basis. And I would say even for someone like myself, like I just, for a lot of people that are listening or maybe watching this, and you think to yourself, video is not for me. I was that person. I also was that person. It just didn't fit my style. Marcus is, he really enjoys being in front of the camera. I actually don't necessarily enjoy, but I'll tell you something though. Like over time, I have become much more comfortable with it. I'm a believer. Once I believed in the power of it, and I began to see because you begin to follow people that you follow on video, and you start to see them, and the trust is accelerating and building, and you go, my goodness.
Exactly. Think about Gary Vaynerchuk. If you guys are in that space, you all know Tom Ferry at this point. I know you, and I mean, he leverages video big time. It's just, it's more than, I'm seeing it just all over, like social media, YouTube. It's here to stay, and I think it's eventually going to be probably how we even communicate. I don't know where we're heading, but it's going to be almost where we're going to have this virtual video
and I
presence.
think what I like about the face-to-face video content is that I think video is important for all of your marketing. But if you think about it, when you want to have a marketing strategy specifically around video, that's hard. Like, I want to create a whole bunch of videos on my website explaining what we do, our big vision, our plan, our, bringing people in. That's actually pretty challenging. There's a lot of thought that goes into that. But when you're just doing video quickly and directly to somebody else, it could be your friends and family, it could be clients or leads, or it could be some of your referrals, and you begin that practice of that, you'll find that all the other videos in your life become a lot easier because you've built up all of this practice. You've got really comfortable in front of the camera. You're getting comfortable with just like the dynamics and the mechanics of how it works. And I think that what you'll find is that if you get comfortable with it, you'll start to add more video components. And so I would say the best place to start in video is exactly what we're encouraging you to do. Send video to your clients, send video to your leads. Just get comfortable with it.
Embed it. And here's the thing, the beauty of this is, and I use Donna Swansea, I mean, obviously because of how successful she's been, and she's done 100 deals with us directly through StreetText leads, but she doesn't even do the personal one-off video emails. It's so powerful because she created an 11-second video that ultimately introduces herself or communicates with questions. Actually, she has 2 videos. One that's embedded in her auto email as a response to leads, and then one where she follows up right after she sent essentially the home valuation. And that 1-2 combo for her obviously has worked. Okay, so it's so simple. I mean, literally it's a 1-2-3 punch, because she's addressing what they're looking for. Like initially that automatically comes out, the home value they get, and it's precise, it's done well. And then she follows up with another video. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, let us know, comment below.
Comment on this video and we'll send you some information on how Donna has done 100 deals, and it is amazing.
I mean, so trust me when I say you will get used to it. In the beginning, it's going to be weird. It's going to feel weird. Don't worry about that. Over time, I mean, literally, I actually send more emails through video now because it takes less time for me to communicate something. And it's not going to be like, if I know it's something that's important, I don't want that to get misinterpreted at all. And just remember, always think of it this way. If that person on the other side could interpret it any way, if there's literally 3 to 5% they say that communication is text, imagine somebody who literally has never met you before, okay? And all they wanted when they were clicking on something was to get that valuation for their home and or a list of properties. And all of a sudden, you have this opportunity to actually humanize the process, build a relationship. And right there, they're gonna go from, oh, I thought this was this, to, oh, this is a real person who generally wants to help me and he has questions behind this. If you take that opportunity to just kind of put yourself in their shoes, this is going to be a mind shift for you. And all of a sudden, lead generation now becomes relationship generation.
Yeah, that's awesome. So join Marcus at 11 a.m. today. We'll send the link in this video below. He'll be doing a bombcast directly with BombBomb if you want to learn more about how he leverages video and how he's done so many, and how you can also leverage video in your own business to accelerate trust. Hope you enjoyed this coffee chat.
Cheers.